Am I audible and visible perfectly?
Yes.
Yes, yes, you
Everyone?
are.
Okay. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and my fellow guests. I am Toastmaster Atrika, your surgeon at answer today's meeting. And in this moody, cozy afternoon, I would like to set some ground rules to kickstart this meeting. Firstly, I would like all the participants to keep their video on and their mic muted unless being called upon on stage. Secondly, I would like to request to all the role players to name themselves in their respective role playing name. For example, if someone is playing active listener or table topics evaluator, their name should be TTE and then their name. And for guest, the prefix should be guest after following their name. I would like to take a moment for all to do the same. Thank you very much. Thirdly, I would ask the participants to refrain from discussing about sex, politics, and religion in a derogatory manner. Now, I would like to introduce such a person who is currently serving as a market access manager at GlaxoSmithKline. He has also been the active Toastmaster for 3 years and is currently pursuing management program from the prestigious IIM Indore. He is none other than the presiding officer for today's meeting and also serving as the president of the Globetrotter Toastmasters Club. It is none other than Toastmaster Minar Kanti Ghosh. Over to him. A big round of applause to him.
Thank you so much, our energetic staff, Toastmaster Ajika. And thank you, UBTC Toastmaster Club. I think this is the second or third time we are collaboratively meeting. So I think collaboration plays a very important role. So just I want to highlight few things regarding the collaboration and benefit of teamwork. I believe personally teamwork truly makes the dream work. If I say I mean it, I just want to share some of the statistical data and also want to know your feedback also. First and foremost important, I think, is increasing productivity. So study according to Institute of Corporate Productivity suggests that those companies work as a one team, their productivity increased by 5 times. Second, I'm talking about the higher employee engagement. We all know about the Gallup. They conducting study across the world regarding the benefit of the employees. And it suggests that 21% increase in the engagement, those who working as a one team or collaboratively. So these are the things. And one thing, even there's a data published in Stanford study where showing that 64% increase in the engagement and leading to more innovations. And there's a case study is already there with Apollo, like Apple's company, regarding the benefit. Those company work as a one team. Their innovation rate is much faster than those who work isolation. Like the data is already there in the Stanford University based on the case study from Apple's that increases productivity by 75%. And another thing I just want to share with you, the benefit of collaboration. There is 50% reduction in the employee absenteeism, or even also employee want to stay with the same company. So that's the benefit. We all know the benefit immense, but only few can work collaboratively. There are a lot of challenges are there. I just want to know whether there are any challenges or you are already working as a team, what kind of benefit you are getting. Anyone? I just start with Subham. Anything you want to share with us regarding your journey as a collaborative efforts, or maybe anything, challenges, maybe good thing, any story?
On like the ways how of collaboration, right?
Absolutely.
And definitely for, like wherever we work and first that feeling mostly comes in the form like, okay, so we can manage our own things and all, but I think there's a very in my company also, there's a code of conduct, or there's a high code kind of, which says pro sports team. So what is a pro sports team means is it is all about collaboration. So collaboration of the basically each member brings their own strength to the team. So definitely to any where we feel challenges or we face challenges of basically the participation or kind of planning for the meetings and all, I think collaboration definitely helps in us in a overall in a very helpful way, and each can learn from each other member and definitely can contribute in a very productive and useful way. I think so.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shubham, for
Yeah.
your point of view. Now I want to ask Elias. Elias, I just want to ask, in Toastmaster point of view, we are nowadays facing a lot of challenges in Toastmasters, and I think maybe there's a gap between we are not as a leader we are not to influence the other members, or there's a gap in collaboration. So, what is your approach? How you can play a catalyst to becoming a great learning experience sessions in Toastmaster Club?
Well, I do believe that we have the same troubles in our every club. The generation gap in my club is definitely one of those big gap. We have a very senior Toastmasters with more than 20 years or even decades. He is my mentor, and we just got some refreshment on the expo. So they are quite new in Toastmasters under 1 year, and I'm in the middle. So we need someone who is bridging the gap between the members and the seniors or the elders, because the seniors will always say to us, the legacy program is better than Pathways, and the juniors or the current Toastmasters will always say Pathways is so much better than it was. We will have those kind of debates, but we need to have a solution. The solution itself is we need to help the veterans. Mostly, they are not tech savvy. In the past, they were using the modules, so they will use the book, the manuals, to give to their evaluation, to give the evaluation on the book itself, to write it down there, kind of conventional. And we need to know that there once upon a time, there was a situation like that, and what is changing. So we need to adapt before we, what we call it, I don't want to say it, uh, suddenly we move from all the world. Basically, you are changed by someone who is younger than you.
So as an nutshell, I think you're talking about the connecting gaps, connecting the dots. Further, the dots are there. You need to try to find out the dots and
Yeah,
create a
missing
bridge.
link.
I think
Yes,
that's
basically.
well said. Well said, Elias. Now coming to Toastmaster Katrina. Just one sentence. What culture we try to bring in our Toastmaster Club for foster our growth? Toastmaster Katrina, am I audible?
All right, right, here we are. Could you please repeat that question?
So how you can bring the foster culture in Toastmasters?
Foster culture,
Yes,
so mentoring,
absolutely.
right. One of the big challenges that I am seeing is that lots of Toastmasters want to do the bare minimum of mentoring, and they also want to do more of a self-paced self-mentoring. They're not really interested, they do not see the benefit yet of having not just one mentor but multiple mentors. And at the same time, some long timer, just like E.T. was saying, some long time mentors, Toastmasters, want to say, oh no, mentoring is reduced to just the first and second level, 4 months at most, and then you're on your own. And it is so important for us to find ways to show both sides that mentoring is all about developing our leadership skills. We cannot be good leaders if we are not good mentors. We cannot be good leaders if we are not good mentees. We cannot become successful outside if we are not willing to go the extra mile here. Whatever success we achieve outside, if we are not willing to put in that kind of servant leadership attitude in what we do, whatever success we are getting outside is incongruent with who we are at our core, I find. So certainly, if you have plenty of mentees at work and just don't have time to be mentoring in Toastmasters, that's one thing. But if you have 0 mentees here, 0 mentees there, and you think mentorship is for those who need it, as if they were lesser beings, oh, you're missing the point. Anthony Robbins, his mentor was Jim Rohn. And not only that, all of the greats, they have multiple mentors. Nobody who is great is without a mentor, and nobody who's great refuses to be a mentor. So it's so important that we bring that, we translate that idea to the rest of the club members.
Thank you. Thank you. Well said. I think that's the need of hour. So that's, I think, basic gap we are finding in the Toastmaster Club. Mentor-mentee relationship, which creates a foster growth among us. Now it's time to hand over the podium, none other than our Toastmaster of the day. He's such an amazing person, very hardworking, also started entrepreneur journey, a very successful entrepreneur, and always available and very humble person. And now I just welcome to the podium Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Prometheus. Toastmaster Prometheus, podium is yours.
Hold on for a second. Someone is at the.
By the way, have you all seen Prometheus' workshop on mentorship from June? If not, I will send you the link.
Great, that's great.
Yeah, sorry for that. Hello. My name is Prometheus Borkotaki, and today I am here trying to speak about something very important in Toastmasters. The theme of the meeting today is Toastmasters resources. The reason I chose this theme because not just as a Toastmaster, but as persons also, we tend to ignore the basic things in life that can make our life easier. We don't read manuals. It can make our life so easier by accelerating our work, and same flows into Toastmasters as well. Toastmasters portal has so much of information that has been gathered in the last 100 years. So many people have contributed to the magazine. sharing their knowledge. If we read that magazine also, we come to know about many things which we may not be aware of into that the way Toastmasters can help us in developing our personality. Because in Toastmaster, we are here to become leaders, and it starts by improving our personality. So I'd like to throw a question to all of you. Have you recently come across a resource or some other fact about Toastmasters was there for a very long time, you never knew about it? Anyone can ask this question. Yeah, Shubham.
Um, matlab, when I was starting in Toastmasters, and even when it has been 2 or 3 weeks, I kind of didn't know like the posters, what we create, or even there is a total brand language behind what we see in posters in Toastmasters, and there's a dedicated, definitely a dedicated defined language, and how Toastmasters, even for their even PR stuff, they have created all kinds of templates and all. And I was very kind of excited to see that it has been done in such a way that it caters to kind of every purpose, like it introducing speakers, giving someone a
Okay,
birthday wish, or anything. So yeah, that was something which matlab, which surprised me in a very good way.
thank you. That is a very interesting take. And even I believe that the brand manual is very useful tool. I see some seasoned Toastmasters as well. So, any of you four, like Minal, Astha, Rajashri, Amber, would you like to pitch in something?
Well, I think it's a very important topic to try to bring among us. So we already spend a lot of money for Toastmaster, but how we can foster our growth? What catalyst we need to follow? And for that, whatever resource available is there, we need to discuss and share with one another. I think that's important. So we know that
Okay.
resources are available, but we should have accountability among us. And for that, we have such a great group. One and one, we can have accountability and share your knowledge, what you learn, and what is the benefit you're getting from these resources. I think that kind of culture we try to bring out in our club for our growth.
I see a chat message from Nidhi. She asked me to repeat the question. So, the question is, did you discover something among the Toastmasters resources in the recent past that you thought that it is very useful? Nidhi, is it?
Yes, it's audible to me. Thank you so much for repeating the question, first of all.
uh,
And when you say resources, are you referring to the resources that we have on the Toastmasters website for us to go through?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So yeah, I did actually find the resources very helpful, and I found them most helpful when I was actually giving my first icebreaker speech in my club. So the
Okay.
thing is, I was very nervous about that icebreaker speech, and I was really scared about, making mistakes, and I was very concerned about being a perfectionist on the stage on my very first attempt. But when I went through the resources that are there on the Toastmasters website for the icebreaker, there were few videos that said that just be completely normal on the stage, as in just do not be afraid of making mistakes. It's just your first attempt. and just embrace if you make any mistakes and be completely okay with whatever happens on your first attempt. So that actually made me feel very relieved, I would say, and it was extremely helpful.
Thank you, Nidhi. That was a very important point you raised, and I think it will also help our speaker today, who is also giving his icebreaker speech. So, before I speak about the Toastmaster resources more, I would like to come to the meeting. A Toastmasters meeting has important sections. The first section is the prepared speeches section. The second uh, section is the table topics section, where practice about all the impromptu speeches, and this helps us develop to come up with the replies at the spur of the moment. And the third and the most important section of a Toastmasters meeting is evaluation. In the evaluation, different part of the meeting is evaluated, whether we are playing, whether we spoke well, or the prepared speeches are evaluated separately, and the topics is evaluated, and there is a general evaluator who evaluates overall performance. So I would like to introduce our general evaluator for the, but before that, let me introduce him. Our general evaluator today is a very seasoned Toastmaster. He has been part of the Toastmasters International for a very long time. He at first joined in 2012. Then he had to take break. He came back, and today he is a distinguished Toastmaster. Let me tell one trivia about him. He was almost about to become a distinguished Toastmaster in the traditional knowledge system as well. So he has the knowledge that he gathered the traditional knowledge system. Then he worked hard with distinguished Toastmasters in the path system, and today he has a wealth of knowledge, and he will be evaluating the meeting today. So over to you, DTM Rajshri Roy.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's keep the applause going for our wonderful Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Pramatesh, who's telling us all about Toastmasters resources today. Ladies and gentlemen, as I have already been introduced by our Toastmaster of the day, I shall be your general evaluator. And for those of you who are new to Toastmasters or perhaps attending as guests, the role of a general evaluator is somebody who evaluates the entire meeting holistically. So literally, my role started from the time the Sergeant at Arms opened today's meeting. And it will continue to the time when the president declares the meeting as closed. So I have a mammoth task in front of me to see whether the speakers did justice to the speech objectives, whether the role players did justice to the roles that they are playing today. A lot of things has to be taken into account, and I can't do it all by myself. So I have a wonderful tag team with me who is going to assist me in this process. So please put your hands together as I call on my tag team to come one by one onto the e-podium and introduce themselves and their roles to all of you. Starting off with our timer for today. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our timer for today, Toastmaster Shubham Panda.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, wonderful Toastmasters and amazing guests. Well, I am delighted to be your timer today. And my role is to keep everyone on track with time, ensuring that our meeting runs smoothly and stays on schedule. Think of me as the friendly timekeeper. I don't have the whistle, but I do have the colorful cards to guide you. So let me show you first the cards. And you just need to note, because since this is a very essential section of Toastmasters, you just need to note whether the cards are visible to you or not. Uh, First, there's a green card. Is it visible to everyone? Then there's yellow card, visible to everyone. Cool. And then there's the red card. So I'll be changing the cards, and I'll just explain what's the meaning of those cards. But since you all are aligning that it is visible to you all, I'll explain basically what those card means. So for our prepared speeches, each speaker will have 4 to 6 minutes, and here is how the timing it will work. So I'll show the green card at 4 minutes. I'll show the yellow card at 5 minutes, and I'll show the red card at 6 minutes. And you shouldn't panic if I've shown you the red card. You'll still have a 30-second grace period to bring your speech to a close. For our table topics session, you will have 1 to 2 minutes. So I'll show the green card at 1 minute. I'll show the yellow card at 1 minute and 30 seconds. And I'll show the red card at 2 minutes. And that will also be followed by a 30-second grace period. And for our wonderful evaluators, you will have 2 to 3 minutes to give your feedback, in which I'll show the green card at 2 minutes. I'll show the yellow card at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and the red card at 3 minutes. And again, with a 30-second grace period to wrap it up. So please keep an eye on my signals so that you can stay within the time limits. And I will report the timing results at the end of each session. So thank you. And now back to our general evaluator, DTM Rajesh.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Timer. Let's have a huge round of applause for our timer, Toastmaster Shubham, for innovatively, telling us about the role of a timer. Just one point, which I would say that for the prepared speeches as well as for the evaluations, there is a grace period on the lower side as well. So if the speaker speaks less than 3 minutes and 30 seconds, because today we have one speech, which is of 4 to 6 minutes. So if the speaker speaks less than 3 minutes of 30 seconds, unfortunately, the speaker is disqualified. And evaluator, if evaluator evaluates less than 1 minute and 30 seconds, unfortunately, the evaluator is also disqualified. So, but for table topics, there is no grace period on the lower side. It's only on the upper side. So you have to speak for a minimum of 1 minute to qualify. Well, that's on timing. Now let's move on to our next role player for today, which is the language evaluator. Now, typically in a Toastmasters meeting, you will have an R counter and a grammarian, but in most advanced clubs, they have a role called as a language evaluator. What this role is all about and what our language evaluator is going to do is going to be told by our language evaluator herself. Please put your hands together for our language evaluator for today, Toastmaster Adrika Mitra.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for such lovely introduction. Well, good evening, good afternoon, almost evening, I must say, to the Toastmasters and guests. I am Toastmaster Atrika, your language evaluator for today's meeting. Now, as a language evaluator, it is my job to not only take keen interest in the grammatical, correct and incorrect usage of the grammatical usage in your speeches, but also to note down all the filler and the crutch words, which are so, and it also includes long pauses. Also, as a grammatical language evaluator, it is my responsibility to introduce you to the word of the day and phrase of the day, which I must encourage to all the speaker to use in their daily vocabulary, and in this meeting, of course. So the word of the day for today's meeting is vicarious. It is an adjective. It means to experience an event or a thing through the feeling or actions of another person. If we can use that in an example, we can say that he lived vicariously through the adventures of characters in his favorite book. Another example which we can put forward is that the principal was held responsible due to his agent's negligence in their actions. I repeat again, the word of the day for today's meeting is vicarious. Now, moving on from that, we also have a phrase of the day. The phrase of the day for today's meeting is let the cat get out of the bag. It means to reveal a secret or surprise by accident. If we can use that phrase in a sentence, we can say that we were planning a surprise party for John, but Jane let the cat out of the bag. So I will be posting the word of the day and the phrase of the day in the chat box itself, which will help the speakers and the guests alike. And I wish you all the best to every speaker and table topic speaker as well. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's have a huge round of applause for our language evaluator, Toastmaster Adrika, for beautifully explaining her role. And I'm pretty sure that with the vicarious efforts of all of us, we will definitely have a great meeting today. With that, I will come back at the end of the meeting to provide my report along with my tag team, and I will hand over the baton now to somebody who has definitely planned for today's meeting well in advance. So it is not a case of taking the cat out of the bag, but a fully prepared Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Pramatesh Borkatoki. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. General Moderator. I really like the way you introduced the rule, and everyone in your team seems to be very capable of what they are doing based on their introduction. Now I will quickly move into the next session, that is prepared speeches section, and for that I would like to call our first evaluator, but let me introduce our first evaluator. Uh, Our first evaluator is a very seasoned Toastmaster, and I came to know about her when I first joined Toastmasters. What I like about her is she does not mince her words when speaking if she believes that it will help the other person. And I am saying it as a compliment because every time she evaluated me or someone else in the meeting when I was present, it helped me a lot. She is sorry, I am having some speech trouble. Uh, I would like to introduce Toastmaster Asa uh, Khandelwal to introduce our first speaker.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. The purpose of this project for the member is to introduce themselves to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. I wish the target speaker all the best.
Toastmaster from the Shiva mute, I think.
I think Toastmaster promoters may be facing some technical challenges. So better, I think Toastmaster Astak, you can call upon the podium to our target speaker, Toastmaster Rahul. That will be better.
I do apologize. I do not know the name of the speech. If you can just help me with that.
Toastmaster Rahul, can you please provide the title of your speech?
Well, the title of the speech is Stepping into the Unknown. So it's my icebreaker speech, and the title will be Stepping into the Unknown.
Great.
Okay, so Asta, have you got the name?
Yeah, I got the name. Thank you, GE.
Thank you.
So I'll introduce Toastmaster Rahul Singh, Stepping into the Unknown. Stepping into the Unknown, Toastmaster Rahul Singh.
Is my voice audible? Just an audio bit check.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Asta, for the wonderful introduction. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, depending upon which part of the country you are joining in. So today is my first Toastmaster speech. It's basically an icebreaker speech, and the title of the speech will be Stepping into the Unknown. So let me start with the question. Have you ever wondered what happens behind the scene when you are just scrolling your mobile and an ad pops up as if you are looking for the same product and services, or when you go to Google and you search for something, a website comes up for these product and services that you are looking for? Anybody has any idea what goes on behind the scene? Well, there the role of a digital marketer comes in. Hello everyone, my name is Rahul Singh. I'm a seasoned digital marketing professional working in this industry for last 17 years. 7 years back, I started my own digital marketing agency by the name of Digital Niti, wherein our goal is to help people scale their businesses digitally. Before I started my own agency, Digital Niti, I have worked in sales and marketing department of reputed organizations like ICICI Bank, Bajaj Life Insurance, and IG Life Insurance in various leadership roles spread all across East. And my professional life, starting from all these extreme organizations, has shaped me into what I am being today. Outside my work, I'm an out and out family man. I live with my wife, 2 children, and parents. Besides work, I love to travel. I love to read books, socialize with friends, and interact with new people. Now, you people must be wondering what makes me join Toastmasters. Well, the reason for joining Toastmasters was basically twofold. Number one, as a marketer, it has always been into our DNA that we need to stay ahead of our competition. We need to see what is going around in the market, what are the various tools which can help us improve performance for our clients. And I also believe communication is one tool which is going to help people stay ahead of the curve. So I thought, why not learn this tool, a tool of communication which is going to help me stay ahead of the curve. That was the number one reason why it made me join Toastmasters. Reason number two was, as the title suggests, stepping into the unknown. All throughout my professional life, more so in last 7 years, when I've been running my agency, I have worked in my comfort zone. I have not stepped out of my comfort zone and try out something which I'm not good at. Communication is one skill which I thought I should better. And I also believe the biggest growth happens when you step into unknown. So I decided to join Toastmasters, not only to be a good communicator, but also to be a good listener. Because I believe communication is twofold. You have to be a good presenter, a good speaker, and as well as a good listener. And what better platform than to be a good communicator than to be Toastmasters? So that was the reason, the number two reason what made me join Toastmasters. And I conclude my speech with the biggest growth always happens when you step out into something which is unknown to you. And as I step into this unknown territory of Toastmasters, I believe the best is yet to come. Over to Toastmasters, Asta, for the next item on the agenda. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rahul. And I request everyone to give a big round of applause, as is the tradition of Toastmaster, because it was his first speech in Toastmaster. You can unmute yourself and give a big round of applause as well. Thank you to Toastmaster, and I wish that you deliver more and more speech in the future. Now, before moving to the next section, let me talk about few Toastmasters resources that helped me a lot. First is obviously the pathways. Everyone uses it. The second resource is in the just next to pathways also we find if some pathway like thing only. It's called complementary reading. It gives basic idea from articles selected from Toastmaster magazine, which you can use it to effectively complete your assignments, whether it is your icebreaker, whether it is your uh, understanding your leadership style uh, assignment, or some other, or it can be your DTM uh, project as well. It is a very useful resource, and I believe that everyone should go through it. And the third is the Toastmasters magazine. Every month, I believe that you should go through it and learn through the knowledges shared by various people. There is a saying that reading makes you understand how the world thinks. It is not just about what you came to learn in Toastmaster, but what are other people joining Toastmasters to learn in Toastmasters. It broadens your mind. And a fourth but very well less known resource is after completing level 2, there is a pathway that is shown in your educational dashboard, that is mentoring pathway. It helps in many ways. As a mentor, you get to learn how to handle a mentee. As a VP education, you know how to assign a mentee to the proper mentor. Or after level 2, if you are not satisfied with the knowledge you have gained till now, you may also look out for 3 to 4 mentors at a time to address your specific issues. So it is a very helpful tool, and I think everyone should go through it after completing level 2. So if there is someone else, it will come up in the next section. That, and I believe our table topics master has designed the table topics in such a way. I met our table topics masters a few months ago when she was trying to achieve the same thing by highlighting all the good things of Toastmasters. So our Toastmasters table topics master is joining from Italy today, and I know that it is very harsh weather out there right now, but she is still joining us with a smile. So over to you, Toastmaster Amber Katrina P.
Thank you, dear Toastmaster, future DTM Pramatesh. It's been such a pleasure to meet you, to collaborate with you, and I prepared table topics on this subject, and then just like the other times, people started saying things, and I'm like, no, now we need to change the table topic. Okay, so the tagline for Toastmasters, I don't know if it still is, it was until last year, where leaders are made. And so we are going to be looking at that also in light of this, of Rahul's uh, icebreaker speech, which was on point for I was taking notes, was on point for the subject. So DTM, who knows what DTM is, and what would acquiring DTM mean to you? E.T., you want to go?
Oh, is that question for me?
Yes, you want to be
Okay.
DTM? What would DTM mean to you? Don't time me. Yes. Stage is yours.
Yeah. Am I audible and visible before start? Okay. Well, I would like to let the cat get out of the bag. Woohoo! Who wants to be a DTM? Raise your hand. Okay, I count. Amber, Tulika, Subha. Okay, keep on raising. Yes, I keep on raising. Yes, because I want to become a DTM. Maybe you cannot see my hand. That's invisible hand. So yes, what is DTM according to me? Well, at first I didn't know what is DTM. So when I asked my mentor, Sir, why you want to become DTM? He said to me, Ilios, I see something in you, but I don't know what it is. And I will tell you the answer once you become DTM. Oh, come on. Such a tough challenge just to get the answer. What is DTM according to him? And why should I become the DTM? And I keep on teasing him. Sir, it's not about me, but about you. Why you want to become DTM? And he said curiously, Ilias, you need to become a DTM to know what is DTM. So it is about the matter of why and what. You need to find it on the middle. Hey, come on. Give me just a straight answer. Why should I be a DTM? Why are you keep on going like that and keep on make me asking you question for 2 minutes? And he said, Ilias, this is to help you to finish your double topic that you don't know what to answer about TTM. So yes, this is statement that you should say when you get a chance when someone asks you what is TTM according to you in class. Back to you, Amber.
Thank you. Sounds very much like the story of my friend whose father was telling him, "You know the best secret to find mushrooms? I will tell you when you are older." Finally, he finds the mushroom, and his father says, "Now I can tell you the secret. You have to look for them where they are, not where they are not." Okay. So, we are moving on. DTM. DTM requires a lot of work. DTM requires becoming a leader. It requires becoming a leader in the club. And to become a leader in the club, you have to go to the club officer training also to become a good leader. But how can attending club officer training be useful to someone who is not a club leader yet? Maybe even someone who is brand new, who would like to take the challenge. Tulika.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, Amber. This club officer training holds a very good knowledge. It gives a very good knowledge about how we should move ahead in this entire Toastmasters journey. It's not only about you come, take table topics, and you go with or without taking the evaluations. It's not only about that. If you are in Toastmasters, you see a lot of people who are coming. It gives you a sense of responsibility, the responsibility of how you can grow yourself, how you can help others to grow. It gives you this. And when I went to the club officer training, I felt I'm the VP education of my club, that is Unicorn Voices Toastmasters Club, and I am so privileged to be to play the role of the VP education. I I got this chance. My mentor, my club members, they gave me this chance to play the role. And when I finally went to the club officer training, I understood the exact thing that I should know how to play the role of a VP education. I came to know about so many nooks and corners. There was plethora of knowledge. A VP education should take care. A VP education also becomes the leader of the entire club. How the club will move, how the club will be, how the meetings will be planned. So this is all we come to know about in the club officer training. And it is not mandatory, it is not necessary that only the EC officers should go into that training. Rather, upcoming Toastmasters or upcoming EC members should also attend this because it will give them the motivation to be a good Toastmaster, to be a good leader. With this, I would like to finish here. What would be your take on this? Amber, over to you.
Thank you, Tulika. So true. Attending these club officer training starts opening our mind to new ideas, new ways that we can become better and better as Toastmasters. And we start to also understand even more the importance of those so-called minor roles, like the timer here. So, today you are useless. You're just a timer. That's the attitude some people have. But what way do you think you can inspire them, encourage them to take on these minor roles? So, do you want to give the speech on that?
Yeah, I want to.
Okay.
So I'll time myself. That's okay. That'll work.
Right.
Yeah, I'll time myself and I'll be honest with that. I don't worry. Uh, yeah. So I think like in order to be a better leader, you need to be a person who can do any job which is being asked from you. It can be in the form of the smallest roles. But if you bring your dedication, if you bring out sincerity towards anything you do, that will reflect in every step which you will take later. So in order to be a good president, in order to be a good VP, no, you need to think that there's no job which is small. If you give yourself, if you think that any job what I'll try to pick, I'll give my best to it. I'll give my 100% to it. I'll give it so that I inspire other people. So I say that's how a leader is made. A leader is not made by his words. I can say very fancy things and I can say, okay, I lead you guys very well. I can do, but my friends, words don't actually tell the leadership value. The actions do. So any action or so the way I'll motivate, if I want to be a leader, the way I'll try to motivate everyone in my club is like whatever work is thrown on me, I'll just do it so that they know that no job is small, and in order to reach a higher level in your life, you need to basically first be okay to take up any task and do it well. So what do you think, table topic master Amber?
Absolutely. And in fact, I am teaching the youth leadership program in Indonesia again this year, and I am having the kids fill more of these roles. I'm going to have them do the counter. And I'm explaining to them the importance of doing these small roles to become better and better with greater things. So, moving from the youth leadership program, Sara Batiwari, what do you think are the benefits of involving your club members in hosting and running a youth leadership program?
Thank you so much, Table Topics Master. We all join Toastmasters to learn and grow in our own lives. This may impact the work that we do in our offices, or if we are a student, we might do better in our academics, our projects, assignments, presentations. But the question is life all about getting all the benefits? The answer is no. If we all will only and only think about our own benefits, we will end up being selfish, and this world will be a tough place to live and survive. The idea is to make our lives beautiful, our society and this entire world beautiful. And when it comes to Toastmasters, the only way to contribute to our society and this world look better is to start thinking what you have got, how can you give it back to the society? And then when it comes to opportunities like youth leadership program, speechcraft, or just helping a fellow Toastmasters, this is the best way and the most divine way to share some knowledge that you have gained. This is a way to make someone else feel benefited and be thankful to you. This is a way to inject more love and harmony in the culture and in the place where we are living. So my lovely friends, I would like to request all of you, whenever you get a chance to help someone, do it. If it is an opportunity to be a part of youth leadership program and your capacity and bandwidth works well, go for it. If not, look for small opportunities and do whatever you can. Thank you so much. Back to Toastmaster Amber.
Thank you, Sarab. You hit the nail on the head. So many people who want to do youth leadership program, but only 8 sessions, not more. So many people who want to do speechcraft, but let's do the minimum 5 sessions, not more. And it is really about, leadership is really about sharing and bringing to the greatest extent possible, not within your limits. So I just love that speech. Thank you so much. Talking about which, we will move on to the speechcraft. How do you think speechcraft can help your club members become better leaders and maybe even prepare them to become a club leader? Do we have any takers, or shall I call? Pramathesh!
Okay. Thank you, Topics Master. I think speechcraft is something that hasn't been explored as much as it deserves to be. Many think that speechcraft is about getting better at speech. Others think that it can help you get more membership. While it is partially true in both ways, because when you do a speechcraft program, you are actually helping non-Toastmasters learn the craft of speaking, and it helps grow the membership because as they say, once someone tastes the blood, they are going to like it and they would like to get more of it by becoming a member. But what do you gain out of it when you are an organizer? That is something that many people ignore. I believe that when you share your knowledge, you suddenly realize that, oh, I knew it. Why didn't I realize it earlier? And while conducting the session as well, the input that you get from the participants, you learn a lot and your growth suddenly accelerates. So, as a speechcraft organizer, you get to learn much more than what it sees from the outside. So, I encourage everyone to conduct a speechcraft session in their club. Over to you, Mr. Topic Bus.
Thank you, Pramathesh. Timer. Do we still have time for how many more? Or if time is up? One more. Okay, then I have to select it very carefully. Very carefully. Earlier, ET said that there's the problem between the old school people who love that manual, which I have a photocopy copy of here. They love this manual because you would get your evaluation written down for you inside the manual. Nowadays, lots of times we meet online. How can we up-level the way we do feedback forms so that people get that same kind of recognition from the evaluations? DTM Rajarsh, would you like to share? What do you think? You are muted.
You are mute.
Sorry, I was just writing the topic. Could you just repeat it once more for me? What's the topic? You are muted now.
E.T. was talking about how the old school Toastmasters loved to have the paper format where you would write inside there the evaluation and like have it all collected there. Is there a way we can up level our evaluation form feedback so that new members and older members get that same feeling of accomplishment?
Absolutely. I think the change should be not in the format, the change should be in the mindset. Even the pathways today gives you the same benefits as what the traditional path had. It's just that we don't make the best use of it. Today, when we decide to deliver a speech and we are evaluated by an evaluator, many a times we do not go back to the evaluator and ask for our evaluation sheet. We just listen to the evaluation comments that we get from our evaluator, be it the commendations or the recommendations, and we are happy with it. We don't follow up on the fact that we would want our evaluation sheet to be completed by the evaluator and returned to us. And if we can get into that practice of getting that evaluation sheet and uploading back into the Toastmasters portal, we can go back to it and refer to it before we plan our next speech. And it will give us the same experience as what we used to have in the traditional path. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I will urge every one of you, or every one of us rather, to do is to change the mindset and not the format. The format is foolproof. It works exactly how the traditional path works. If we can explore the different facets that the new pathways has for us, I'm sure we will derive the maximum benefit out of it. That is my thought. What is your take, Madam Table Topic Master? Thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely. What we are doing in Italy, because most Italians do not know English, is that we have the Google form. And so everyone at the end of the meeting, everyone can click the link in the Google form, well, after the speech actually, and go give their written evaluation to the speaker. That way, one speech and you have 5, 10 different evaluations for one speech. So, well, depending how many people are there. But so it's very useful. And then you receive the whole package of your evaluations back. Maybe that's an idea you can use in your clubs as well. Thank you so much. And back to you, dear Toastmaster of the Day. Ramatesh, yay!
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master. That was a very knowledgeable session. And coming to the Toastmasters resources, I would speak something what Rajesh said, and I would take it a little bit further. I have a notebook with myself that I started to maintain right from day one because my mentor asked me to do that. So what happens in that notebook is after the meeting, I note down what I learned. And if I'm taking a rule like, say, timer, evaluator, or counter, I use that notebook to note down my observations there. And as I keep writing it, I have seen that if I write something, I tend to retain that knowledge more than what I have listened. So I will concur with what Rajesh said. If we just try to go back to what we learned from the evaluations, it really helps me or anyone else who has been doing it. So that is my take on it. And apart from that notebook, I also have another file since I became a mentor where I have a series of questions that my mentees ask. So it is like an FAQ. And if someone else asks that question, I just have a ready reference to answer them in a better way. So having a resource of our own also helps in that. And this practice has also overflown into my personal life, where I keep a record of the things I have learned. So Toastmaster is not just about speaking in the meeting, but it's also about taking it outside of Toastmasters. So with this, I would like to invite the general evaluator to present his report. So over to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's have a huge round of applause for our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Pramatesh, and special thanks to you, Pramatesh, for sharing so much information today in the course of today's meeting. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the final section of today's meeting, which is evaluation. And to take this section forward, today, as you all know, that we had only one prepared speaker in the form of Toastmaster Rahul, who delivered a wonderful icebreaker speech. And to evaluate him, may I please request his evaluator, Toastmaster Astha Khandelwal, to come onto the podium and present the evaluation. Over to you, Toastmaster Astha.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I begin by clapping for Toastmaster Rahul for beginning his Toastmaster journey with a bang today. You were the picture of calmness and confidence as you began your icebreaker speech. You greeted everyone, which was a very interesting take on an online meeting speech format. You greeted everyone and then you started with a question. Does anyone know what happens behind the screen? And you had your entire audience engaged at that very moment. You waited, paused, and then you let the cat out of the bag, where you took us into a journey into understanding your work as a digital marketer. You had great presence. I congratulate you on that audience interaction, and especially for the first speech and an online medium, very, very well done. The other thing that really stood out for me was a very interesting structure that you had to your speech. You gave us a short introduction, then you gave us a whole barrage of little tidbits about your family, about your hobbies, and then you anchored the speech on your work. So that was a very interesting structure. At the end of your icebreaker speech, we now know you much better than we had started with. You also used numbering in your speech. I learned 1, I learned 2, and that let the audience stay with you through the speech. Great use of language throughout the speech. You had quotes, you had idioms, you said it really, really well, and you built up that entire speech to the end, where you ended with the best is yet to come. So very, very well done on language usage throughout. And the most important thing which stood out was not just the digital marketing, but how you connected it to why Toastmasters. And you gave us your reasoning for that. And it was so interesting that in your first speech itself, you spoke about the fact that not only are you looking at improving communication, as in your speaking skills, but also your listening skills. So you are well on your way to being a great Toastmaster. Really, really well done on that. If I have a couple of recommendations, one would be, of course, you gave us a lot of information, but it came really crisp right at the beginning. So there was no connect in terms of, being able to hold that information. If you ask me right now what your hobbies are, even as evaluator, I may not be able to tell you. So just when you're giving us some information, maybe add a little story, an anecdote, let us live in that, and that will really build, the long-term effect of your speech. And the other is, just in terms of stage movement, etc. I'm sure it'll get better with each speech, making sure that the screen looks very clear, your voice comes out clearly. So I'm sure that experience will help you there. So just to summarize, I congratulate you on a well-structured speech. We definitely know you better now, especially about your work and your worldview. Great language usage, with the quotes, and I see a strong Toastmaster in the making. Wishing you great success. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's have a huge round of applause for our evaluator, Toastmaster Astha. I will come back to the speaker, but starting off with Toastmaster Astha. Toastmaster Astha, first of all, welcome back. It's nice to see you after such a long time. And well, I am a fan of your evaluation. I've heard you evaluate before as well. It is not a surprise to me how well you evaluated today. Toastmaster Astha, just if I have to find a needle in a haystack sort of a situation, a couple of recommendations from my side. One is that I felt that at the beginning, when you were called on to introduce, as in to read out the objectives of the speaker's speech, I believe you should have mentioned that what is the name of the pathways that he's delivering the speech from. It was presentation mastery. And you could have also mentioned that this is an icebreaker speech and the duration of the speech is going to be 4 to 6 minutes. I think these are small little technical details that you can say before you read out the actual objectives of the speaker's speech. The other recommendation that I have for you, Toastmaster Astha, you were so brilliant. And I love the fact that because it was an icebreaker speech, you kept the tone very inspiring, very motivational, which is very important for a person who's starting his communication journey in Toastmasters, which is brilliant. However, because you had a lot of commendations and then you did your recommendations, by the time you came to the summary, you were already in your red card and you had a fear you will run out of time, which is why at the time of summarizing, you did not talk about the recommendations at all. So from a contest perspective, in your summary, you should have the commendations as well as your recommendations. So that's the only advice, but overall, great job done, Toastmaster Astha. Now coming to our speaker, well, Toastmaster Rahul, what can I say? It is kind of a very strange, strange situation for me to be in, because again, I'll let the cat out of the bag that Toastmaster Rahul, I am evaluating him now as the general evaluator, but he's also my mentee. So it's difficult to evaluate him that way. But Toastmaster Rahul, I completely agree with all the evaluation points that Toastmaster Astha gave you. If I had to throw a challenge at you, and maybe the next time round we can both sit and work on this together. Remember the time in your speech when you when you were telling us about your family, the fact that you have a wife and your children and so on. And then immediately you went on to say, now you must be wondering why I joined Toastmasters. Now, when you are telling me about your family, why will I wonder why you joined Toastmasters? I'm not wondering about that at all. So maybe as a challenge, we could look at having transitional lines. Maybe you could say something like, now let me take you from one family to the other. In case you're wondering, it is my Toastmasters family. And I'll tell you why I joined Toastmasters. So that's a transitional line where you've kind of linked your personal family with your Toastmasters family. So let's work on the transitional lines, but that is for future. But overall, a wonderful job done, Toastmaster Rahul. Okay, now with that, it's time for me to call on my tag team for their reports. So I will start off with the timer for today. Can I please request Toastmaster Shubham to please present the timer's report? Over to you, Shubham.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for basically, it was a wonderful evening. I have been vigorously, basically, living through all the speeches which were being delivered today. And it was and to get to know about Toastmaster resources was just a very good educational experience in its own. Well, at the timer, I think it's the time to let the cat out of the bag. And let me present my report. I'm sharing the screen. Are you all able to see my report in the Excel sheet?
Yes.
Okay. So today, basically, this report I have thought about basically coloring according to the cards which I have shown. And our prepared speaker, Toastmaster Rahul, basically delivered his speech with a timing of 4 minutes and 40 seconds. And he was within the green range. Uh, our evaluator, Toastmaster Astha, uh, delivered her evaluation within 3 minutes and 16 seconds. Our table topic speakers, Toastmaster Elios, 2 minutes 24 seconds. Toastmaster Tolika, 2 minutes 11 seconds. Myself, Toastmaster Shubham Panda, 1 minute 53 seconds. DTM Saurav Tiwari, 1 minute 59 seconds. TM Brahmathesh, 2 minutes 24 seconds. And DTM Rajarshi Roy, 1 minute 36 seconds. So I'd like to introduce tap on our back. So you all qualified. Neither of us are disqualified for this. But I'd like to introduce to the concept of the time champions who basically delivered this within the time limit, which was being introduced at the start of the session. And the time champions for today are definitely TM Rahul, TM Shubham Panda, that's me, DTM Saurabh Tiwari, and DTM Rajesh Roy. With our first speaker, TM Rahul, being the icebreaker speed, leading on the way. So it was a wonderful evening, and thank to you, all of you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's have a huge round of applause for our timer for today, Toastmaster Shubham. Toastmaster Shubham, I think you've had some innovation pill before you joined the meeting, I believe. You started off on the note of innovation, and now you are not shying away from bringing innovation at every step. I've been a Toastmaster for quite a long time now. I've never seen anybody have a timer champion. I don't know whether that word exists, but that was really nice to see that report. And I think it was such a meticulous job done. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shubham. Especially, you were not the original timer. You stepped up and you volunteered to be the timer at the last moment. Rather, I imposed it onto you, kind of. But then you did it, and what a great job, Toastmaster Shubham. Very, very good, Toastmaster Shubham. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I move on to my second tag team player. Can I please have our language evaluator, Toastmaster Adrika, onto the podium, please? Toastmaster Adrika, the stage is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for introducing me. A very good evening to everyone. And I was absolutely delighted to see everyone's speeches and the way everyone attempted the table topic speeches. Now, with the language evaluation session, it will be divided into two sections. I will be explaining the filler words and the number of clutch words that have been used by the speakers. And also in the language evaluation, it will be divided into the word of the day and the phrase of the day used, new words used, and some recommendations with the overall grammatical flow of the speeches. Now, moving on with the filler words and clutch words used, which are the long pauses, so, but, the long pauses has been used by Toastmaster Pramatesh and Toastmaster Shubham. So has been used by Toastmaster Shubham twice. Has been used by Toastmaster Pramatesh twice, Toastmaster Tulika twice, Toastmaster Shubham once, and Toastmaster Asa once. That is all I have for my counter report. Following with the remaining report, it has been further divided into three sections. We have new words or phrases introduced by the speakers themselves, the word of the day and the phrase of the day used by the speakers, and some recommendations overall. Now, with some new words or phrases that has been used by the speakers are the need of the hour, catalyst, mammoth of a task, nooks and corner, plethora, hit the nail on the head, take the blood and naked, needle in a haystack. It has been wonderful to have these vocabulary being introduced to me as well. So you get to learn everything. So you get to learn everything like from everyone. Okay. Now for the word of the day and the phrase of the day used, DTM Rajashi has used word of the day once and phrase of the day twice. If I recall correctly, TMET has also used word of the day once. Toastmaster Asta has used the phrase of the day once, and Toastmaster Shubham has used the phrase of the day once. Now, with some recommendations, For example, the recommendations that I have for the speakers are love to do something. Instead of love to do something, we can use vocabulary such as enthusiastic about something or relish the activity that we're doing. For example, I vicariously relish my spare time with reading. We can go it like that. Also, instead of saying basic idea, we can say it forms a rudimentary foundation of that concept or the thing that you have been explaining on. Well, with that, I have all as my language evaluation session. I would urge the general evaluator to further evaluate the session overall. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's keep the applause going for our wonderful language evaluator, Toastmaster Adrika. Toastmaster Adrika, I have now become a fan of how you speak, the clarity with which you speak. I could hear every single word very distinctly. The structure that you used and you explained it very well was brilliant. I think you've done such a brilliant job presenting this report. Hats off to you for doing that. Just if I had to give you only one recommendation, although everything was very clear, but you can't predict how technology plays up. So if you can put that all in an Excel and present the screen just like how our timer did, going forward, then in case there is a technical glitch, at least we can see what you're trying to tell us. So I think that's the only recommendation I have. But otherwise, I think it was a brilliant job. Well done, Toastmaster Adrika. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with the tag teams report taken, it's now time for me to quickly evaluate our table topic speakers, and then I will come to our role players for today. So starting off with our first table topic speaker, Toastmaster Ilios. Toastmaster Ilios, now you know the importance of naming yourself the right way, because now in this meeting you become ET. You become Toastmaster ET for everybody. So you have to name yourself accordingly. So Toastmaster Ilios, your topic was, what does DTM mean to you and what does it take to become one? Now, before anything else, before I get into the content per se, I think you are an epitome of two things: expressions and enthusiasm. I think there's so much to learn from you, you know, the way you started and you opened with a bang saying, oh, it's time to get the cat out of the bag. And I'm like, oh my God, what a start. You are truly, truly so enthusiastic and so expressive. Loved your take, Toastmaster Ilios. I think you, and that's why, you know, you started off by using the phrase of the day, brilliant, which of course our Madam Language Evaluator has already mentioned. And you also talked about the learning that you had from your mentor, saying that he told you that I see something in you. And you know, that learning was so heart touching, and how you related it to your theme, your topic of what it takes to be a DTM. I think that was brilliantly done. If I had to give you one recommendation, I think everything was brilliantly done. I just felt the call to action was missing. If I am an audience, what is the call to action for me? How am I going to be inspired to become a DTM now from here? I understand your inspirational journey, but how can I be inspired and start on my inspirational journey? So I think that call to action could have been incorporated, but all in all, a brilliant job done, Toastmaster ET. Oh, oops, Toastmaster Ilios. Thank you, very well done. Okay, moving on to our second table topic speaker, which was Toastmaster Tulika. Your topic was, how can club officers training program be beneficial? I think I really like the fact that you started off by saying that training provides a sense of responsibility. And I think I love that line. You know, it's a very deep, profound line that you've added. And you went on to say that it gives you a plethora of knowledge that you can gain out of the training. Very well said. The idea, the thought process behind what you were saying was brilliant. You even told shared your experience of when you went to the club officers training program and what you touched upon the fact that this training program is not just for the current club officers, but the future club officers as well, which is a very important point for all of us in this room to know. that every one of us, whether we are a club officer or not, we can go and make the best use or take maximum advantage of this program. I think that was brilliantly done, Toastmaster Tulika. The only recommendation I have for you is that your topic was, how can club officers training program be beneficial? I think somewhere I missed the stress on the benefits it brought to you. You went and attended the training program. You learned a lot of things. And then what? You started a story, but you didn't take it to the conclusion. Now that you are a trained vice president education, how are you doing things differently? How was your journey before you attended the club officers training program? And now that you are a trained club officer, how has it changed? How have you benefited? I think that's the point, that's the link that was missing. But all in all, I loved your speech. Well done, Toastmaster Tulika. Now coming to our third table topic speaker, our timer himself, Toastmaster Shubham, whose topic was, how can you inspire people to take up minor roles in a Toastmasters meeting? Toastmaster Shubham, I don't know where you get these ideas from, but I have become a fan of your idea, I must say. And I wish in your table topic, and when you have to think on your feet, I could do that as well. I mean, the fact that you came up by saying that in order to be a better leader, you have to be ready for any job that is assigned to you. And that was, again, like I told Tulika, such a deep thought. And that is so true. You know, you can't be saying, you can't be selective about what you want to do. You can't be saying, oh, I'll do this, but I'll not do that. Then you'll never be a true leader. In Toastmasters, like I am the president of the club, I can't say, I always say I am serving Unicorns Voices Toastmasters Club as the president. I serve my role. So in order for you to be a better leader, you need to do everything that is assigned to you. Very, very good thought. And you also went on to say there is no job which is small. And this, you also shared the secret of moving up the ladder, that you take on anything that comes to you. That's very brilliant. And how you are going to, tell people that no job is small. The only recommendation I have for you, Toastmaster Shubham, is that your topic again was, how can you inspire people to take up minor roles in a meeting? You yourself have taken up a minor role, although I don't consider any role minor, but you've taken a role today. I was looking forward to sharing a little more of your strategy. What are you going to do? Are you going to tell people that what is the benefit of being a timer? Are you going to tell people what is the benefit of being an accounter? So what is your strategy going forward? How are more members from Unicorns Voices going to come forward and grab the role of a timer? How is it that we can avoid this situation where no one took up a timer's role and I had to literally impose it onto you? So that strategy itself, I was looking for. So maybe that bit, if you can get in, that would have been a 10 on 10 performance, but overall, a great job done, Toastmaster Shikhan. Now coming to our fourth speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Saurabh. Is he there in the meeting? He's not there in the meeting. I think he's dropped, so I will reserve his comments maybe, and I will pass it on to him in private chat. Coming to our fifth speaker for today, which was Toastmaster Pramatesh. Toastmaster Pramatesh's topic was, how can speechcraft help in becoming better leaders? Toastmaster Pramatesh, I love the fact that you started off by saying, it helps. You immediately went and started talking about non-Toastmasters. And you said it helps non-Toastmasters to learn the art of crafting a speech. And I love that fact that you immediately started on the benefits of a speechcraft program. And then after talking about the benefit, you went on to the benefits that an organizer gets out of hosting such a program. You said, with the inputs that are shared during the course of such a program, there's so much to learn from that even the organizers get to learn so much. It's a win-win situation for everybody. It's not only the non-Toastmasters who get to learn the art of speech crafting, but also the organizers who get to learn so much from the ideas that are shared in the Speechcraft program. Only recommendation I have for you, Toastmaster Pramatesh, your topic was, how can speechcraft help in becoming better leaders? I missed that leaders aspect from your speech. I was hoping you talk about a little bit on leadership. The fact that you are an organizer, you're organizing a speechcraft program, and it's not just about speechcraft. Anything that you organize, or even a youth leadership program that you organize, there's so many facets, so many dimensions that you need to look into. You need to create subcommittees. You need to ensure your subcommittees function. You need to have a core committee. Always have discussion, and that will help you in your leadership journey as well. And that is why till last year we had this tagline in Toastmasters, where leaders are made. So maybe you could touch upon a little bit on the leadership part, but otherwise, very, very good take, Toastmaster Pramatesh. Well done. Our last speaker for today was myself, who was undoubtedly fabulous, so not being evaluated at all. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That completes my evaluation for table topic speakers. And now I come to our role players for today. So I'll start off with our Sergeant at Arms for today. Our Sergeant at Arms was Toastmaster Adrika. Toastmaster Adrika, like I said earlier, you're so eloquent. You know, the way you speak is so eloquent, so much clarity is there, very good. You narrated the protocols really well. And what I loved about your Sergeant at Arms thing, and I'm going to steal this and I'm going to tell this everywhere in whichever club I go, you told about the importance of naming convention. People did not name them properly, and you said, I'll give you a minute's time to rename yourself the way they should rename themselves. So I think not very many clubs do that. And if you're doing it as GTC as a practice, I think hats off to you. Very, very good, Toastmaster Adrika. Only recommendation I have, because you are the one who's starting the meeting, you're setting the tone of the meeting. If you can start off with an inspirational line or a motivational line, or maybe just an applause and welcome to the 124th and the 135th joint meeting of Unicorns Voices and Globetrotters Toastmasters Club, because it's a joint meeting. You can welcome them all. So maybe, you know, with a bang, if you can start, that will draw the attention of everybody in the meeting room. But all in all, very, very good job, Toastmaster Adrika. Coming to our president, Toastmaster Mrinal, yes, who's here. Before anything else, again, I'm going to get the cat out of the bag. Toastmaster Mrinal is running very high fever. And the fact that he is still in the meeting, he agreed to be the presiding officer, goes to show the commitment and the sincerity that he has. A big round of applause for Mrinal, just for showing this sincerity. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mrinal. Toastmaster Mrinal, I don't know, I think you initially backed out. You said you wanted me to be the presiding officer, and then you came in later on. It seemed as if you were already prepared with what you're going to say. You talked about collaboration and how you joined, how you linked that to the joint meeting of the two clubs. Brilliantly, you shared surveys, you shared statistics, you shared case studies. Oh my God, that was a Toastmaster of the Day's theme in itself that you were speaking about. So good. You interacted with the audience. You talked to Shubham, you asked him a question, you talked to Elios, you talked to Amber. So you got in audience interaction, anything and everything you could do, you've done in your presidential address. Very, very good, Toastmaster Mrinal. Only recommendation if I have to give you, Toastmaster Mrinal, keep an eye on the timing, because as a president, we don't spend more than 3 minutes of time in our presidential address. Your presidential address was a little longer, so if you can curtail it a little bit, that will be fine. Otherwise, excellent job done, Toastmaster Mrinal. Very, very, very good. I will leave my comments for the man of the hour, Toastmaster Pramatesh, for the end. So you have to hold on to your horses for now. I will go to our table topic master for today, Toastmaster Amber. Toastmaster Amber, when I saw the theme for today, Toastmasters resources, I was sure that the table topic section can in no way be linked to the theme. Thank you for proving me wrong. The way you related the table topic section to the theme of the day goes to show how great a table topic master you are. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to do it had I been the table topic master for today. Really, really, every single topic that you gave, ranging from youth leadership program to speechcraft, all the topics were covered and that were in line with Toastmasters resources. So brilliantly done, Toastmaster Amber. I think, and what I loved the most was after every speaker spoke, you had your experience, your own experience to share, your own pearls of wisdom you spread spread on. And I think I love that Toastmaster Amber, brilliantly conducted table topic section. And I think everybody in the meeting room will agree with me. If I have only a few recommendations to give you, they will be that in the beginning, if you could just let everybody know how the table topic section would look like, because people were confused whether it's just a question that you were asking them or whether it was actually the topic. So if you could give a narrative at the beginning in terms of how the table topic section will be, that would help people to not have the doubts that they had. The second recommendation I have is, if you could, at the onset itself, if you could encourage people to use the word of the day, vicarious, and the phrase of the day, get the cat out of the bag, so that people could have used it in their table topics more. As much as they did, they could have used it more. And my last, how do I put it? A food for thought for you. I know, Amber, you can do wonders, but a food for thought for you is that when you have topics like these, does that mean that you are in a way barring the guests from participating? Because a guest in a Toastmasters meeting will have no idea about a speechcraft or about a youth leadership program. So when you have topics like these, do you bar the guests from participating? In that case, you could have initially said that we have some generic topics for the guests as well, and I would encourage the guests also to nominate, so that they don't feel out of place. Oh, what am I doing in this table topic section? I don't know anything about Toastmasters. So this is just a food for thought, but all in all, such a brilliant table topic section. Very, very well done, Toastmaster Amber. And now coming to the man of the hour, Toastmaster Pramatesh. Toastmaster Pramatesh, first of all, hats off to you. And I'm going to get the cat out of the bag again. And I'm going to say, before we did this event, Toastmaster Pramatesh messaged me one day, and he said he was quite anxious and nervous that he has this kind of a theme, and he hopes and prays that he can pull it off. Toastmaster Pramatesh, you pulled it off with flying colors. Can I just say that? Very, very good, Toastmaster Pramatesh. There are so many things I didn't know that I got to learn through your presentation. Very, very good, Toastmaster Pramatesh. And you know what? While you were telling about this theme, I was thinking, you talked about at the very beginning, you said there are so many Toastmaster resources. People don't put the effort to go and read it. And it felt like reading versus storytelling. People will not read anything, but if you tell it in the form of a story, people will listen to it. So, and that's exactly what you did. You told the same things, but you told it in the form of story, and we listened to it and we got to know about it. So thank you, Pramatesh, for having such a theme for today. I think what I thought you did very clever was you asked a question that something about Toastmasters resources that was always there, but you got to learn very recently. You asked that question to the audience. That is a very clever thing to do. And I'll tell you why. Because through the answer of that question, others who don't know it will get to know. That was a very, very clever question to put forward, Toastmaster Pramatesh. Very good question, very in line with the theme. You've introduced the sections of a Toastmasters meeting. And I also love that many Toastmasters of the day forget. You reminded everybody to follow the tradition of applauding the icebreaker speaker after their speech. I have seen clubs forgetting that. You haven't forgotten that. You've reminded everybody to unmute themselves and applaud. I am already unmuted and I will applaud for you just for that, actually. Many clubs forget that. So very good, Toastmaster Pramatesh. You reminded us about the complementary projects, the Toastmaster magazines, the mentoring pathways, everything you've talked about. If at all I had to give you only one recommendation, your entire presentation, I felt, it is my personal opinion, it was craving for a PowerPoint presentation. Or maybe somewhere, if you could open the pathways and show where I can go and see the mentoring pathways, where I can have a look at maybe an email to show the Toastmasters magazine, where I can find these resources. That was missing because if the visual will connect more than the auditory thing. So that was the only missing element in your entire presentation. But all in all, very, very good job done, Toastmaster Pramatesh. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for our Toastmaster of today. And overall, the meeting started 3 minutes late, which is pretty okay. And just recommendation to both the clubs is that if you can ensure that the role players for the meeting join at least 10 minutes in advance the meeting starts, so that we can make sure we start right on time. So because today the role players weren't on time, so if I can request all the role players in future to join a little in advance so that we can start the meeting on time. That's my only recommendation. Overall, I enjoyed thoroughly today's meeting, and what a great meeting it was. I've let all the cats out of the bag. The bag is now empty, and now I hand the baton back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Pramatesh. Over to you, Toastmaster Pramatesh.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. That was a very exhaustive evaluation. And yes, a thought crossed my mind that I should prepare a presentation, and if I could share a few things about the Toastmasters portal as well in the presentation. But I thought it might stretch the time limits. It is not an excuse, but maybe it is something that I lack to manage my time. But obviously, I will take this point, and next time when I present the same theme in another meeting in another club, I will definitely use that, uh, and I will definitely consult you as to how to manage this thing as well. Before I hand over the e-lecture to our closing presiding officer, I will just wrap up the things that we discovered in this meeting. In the beginning, I asked a question, and Shubham replied with how the timer should be timer rule should be done. So he found it very interesting. So it only says that even the trivial things are something that we need to look at and find new ways to do it. There is something that Tulika said about COT. I would request everyone to go through the video resources where COT trainings are there, so that even if you're not an executive officer or you are doing some other role, you get an idea about what the other roles is. So it will help a better uh, team collaboration. And there is one very interesting thing. Toastmasters provide some perks from time to time. For example, you can get a 50% discount for a Zoom room if you mail to the Toastmaster. I think the email is clubquality@toastmasters.org. You have to email with your club details, either the president, the secretary, or the VP membership can email to them with the club details. So it will also help you. And this subscription can also be shared among different clubs. So this also creates a collaboration effort. And coming to the table topics, I requested specifically to Toastmaster Amber because she is working on this topic on her high performance leadership, also worked on how to make Toastmasters better. Now she is also doing a youth leadership program, and I believe someday she will also do something about speechcraft. So she's trying to explore everything, and She's also doing a lot to understand what exactly is pathways. Nobody tells us how to evaluate a pathway before we actually choose. What is actually a pathway? It's objective. We have 11 pathways, and each pathway has a different objective to meet. For example, presentation mastery is only about presentation. Dynamic leadership is about dealing with leadership positions where you have to adapt yourself to different situations dynamically. Strategic relationship is about public relationship. Engaging humor is to use humor in while communicating. Team collaboration is about how to build a team. So everything. So you just cannot do random speeches for a pathway. So if you understand what the objective of a pathway, it really helps you. So the idea of conducting this uh, meeting with this theme was that we ask questions. We ask questions about what can we gain out of Toastmasters. If we ask, we will have numerous answers, and no question is wrong. No answer is wrong. Every question is right. It just broadens our perspective. With this note, I hand over to Rashira, who is our closing presiding officer.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's have a huge round of applause for our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Pramatesh Borpatoki. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for me to take some feedback. So let me start with somebody who I see from the beginning of the meeting, but not switched on the camera. Subhadra V, are you there with us? Subhadra V? Okay, I think there's some problem. I don't get to hear. Okay, now let's move on. Okay, while I take feedback, there are some polls for you to fill. So I would request our Vice President Public Relations, Toastmaster Pramatesh, to please share the polls, and you can vote for your favorites. So keep voting for your favorites while I take feedback. So let me take some feedback. Okay, let me take from our exceptionally good table topic master, Toastmaster Amber. Toastmaster Amber, can you please unmute yourself, and can you please share your feedback about today's meeting? Toastmaster Amber.
Sorry, I was entering the poll. Okay. I love collaborating with Pramadesh, also with E.T. Earlier this year when we met, we came together. They helped me do my first HPL. And yes, you are right. I am creating a whole new idea of how to make speechcraft more interesting, more meaty, more specific for different kinds of audiences. So that's my own ideas, but I mean, go ahead, take it away, bring it to your own clubs. I always love joining the meetings in India from Italy because the level of the language is fabulous. The level of preparation, as you see, I'm quite casual. Here we are more casual, laid back, whereas here there's a higher level of respect, which I really enjoy. So yes, it's been a fabulous meeting. Compliments to Rahul, you did a fantastic icebreaker, and I could not, like, really, your evaluator gave you everything fantastic. And yes, I am looking forward to seeing you more often now that I've finally settled into my different officer roles. Right. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you very much. Let's have a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Amber. I would now like to take feedback from somebody who Amber mentioned, Toastmaster E.T. Toastmaster E.T., are you there? I can only see the fan at times. I am your fan. You don't need to remind me that. If I can see you, it would be greater. I can still see the fan. Is it it's a way of saying that, okay, just fan off? Okay, Toastmaster ET doesn't want to speak to me. I'll come back to Toastmaster ET later on. Let me move on to, how many of you know that, have you read these, stories, these, what do we call, those Cinderellas and Snow White and Seven Dwarfs? How many of you read those stories when you were kids? Oh, most of us. And most of these stories used to start with the opening phrase, once upon a time, right? So I would like to call upon somebody who was once upon a time a member of Unicorns Voices Toastmasters Club. She's already smiling. Please put your hands together. Khandelwal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajoshi. It's always wonderful to join these meetings. Once upon a time, I was a Unicorn Voices Toastmaster, and perhaps soon we'll discuss. But yeah, it's been some time since I've been able to give any speeches. It's actually been 2 years, but I am attending my local club. So this has been very inspirational for me today. I've really enjoyed it. I do enjoy the online format a lot. I do visit. Yeah, so the meeting was fabulous. I think a very interesting theme today, Toastmaster Pramatesh, and of obviously brilliant table topics, Toastmaster Amber. The connect was fantastic. The target speaker, I mean, it did not feel like your icebreaker. So this whole meeting has been really high quality. Every role player, the timer, I have never seen a timer, sort of win the auxiliary role. It's like a given. The timer doesn't win. I am really rooting for you today. So it's like a really, really wonderful meeting, and it's wonderful to see all your faces again. We should connect more often. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Once upon a time, our Toastmaster and soon to be again a Toastmaster Asta Khandelwal. Okay, with that, I will go back to our Vice President, Public Relations, Toastmaster Pramatesh. Are we ready with the poll results?
Yes, we are ready with our poll results. And
Okay, I will take a break then, and I will hand over to Toastmaster Pramatesh to announce the results, and then I will come back to officially close today's meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Pramatesh.
the first the award is for best speaker. That is Toastmaster Rahul Singh. Give a big round of applause to him. The second award is for the best evaluator, and this is again Toastmaster Asta. Yeah. The third award is for the best role player, and any guesses?
General evaluator.
Amber.
Yeah,
General
it
evaluator.
is DTM Rajesh Roy as general evaluator. And the next award, I think it has been rigged already because the results have already been declared by one of our guests, the best auxiliary role player. That is none other than Toastmaster Shom Panda as timer. And the last but not the least, the best table topics player. It was a very difficult. It was almost a tie, but somehow the table topics speaker won the award. Any guesses?
DTM Rajeshira.
Any guesses?
DTM Rajeshira, I think.
Elias? I think Shumam Panda is underestimating himself. He won the best table topic speaker today with more than 50% of the votes.
Thank you. Thank you.
So with this, I would like to hand over the e-lectern to our President DTM Rajeshri Rai. Over to you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's have a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Pramatesh. And I think we should have a bigger round of applause for every one of us in today's meeting. All role players, all speakers were splendid today. Splendid is the word, ladies and gentlemen. That should be the word of the day because each and every one of us were splendid today. On that note, thank you everybody for joining in, and Globetrotters Toastmasters Club has their meeting every Sunday in the morning at 10:15 a.m., if I'm not wrong. Mrinal?
Absolutely right.
Yes, so Globetrotters Toastmasters Club has their meetings every Sunday morning at 10:15 a.m. Indian Standard Time. And Unicorns Voices Toastmasters Club has their meetings every Sunday evening at 4:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So you will not get to miss any of them because we operate at two different timings. Please ensure you join in for both of our meetings, and please join in our next week's session, every one of you. On that note, enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening with your friends and family, and stay well. Thank you and good night, everyone.
Bye bye, everyone. Have a great day.